Section 7-1, Multiplying Monomials, Day 2. Essential question. How do you multiply monomials with an exponent on the outside of the parentheses? So the key word there is that we're going to deal with exponents on the outside of our parentheses in this lesson. First of all, power of a power is, let's say I have the example b to the third. Oops. Fix that really quick. B to the third to the fifth power is the same thing as b to the 3 times 5, which would be b to the 15th. Power of a product would be if I have, for example, negative 2xy to the fifth. That would mean I take negative 2 to the fifth I take x to the fifth, and I take y to the fifth, which would be negative 32 x to the fifth, y to the fifth. So I'm taking every single part of my parenthesis and raising it to the fifth power, the negative 2 and the x and the y. First example, simplify the expression. M squared times p to the fifth, all raised to the third power. Now when I have a parenthesis and an exponent outside of my parenthesis, I always look to that outside exponent first. So since that's a 3, that means that m squared p to the fifth is being multiplied by itself 3 times. So I'm going to write that down 3 times. M squared p to the fifth, m squared p to the fifth, m squared p to the fifth. And then I'm going to put my squiggle in between each one to break them up. We're going to multiply all of them together, and I can put my multiplication sign or even my parentheses around each one if I wanted. So m squared is m times m. P to the fifth is 5 p's. Same in the middle, m squared is m times m. P to the fifth is 5 p's. M squared p to the fifth. All right, so now to get my answer, I'm going to count how many m's do I have, how many p's do I have. That'll be my answer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 m's. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 p's. So there is my answer. M to the 6th, p to the 15th. 2yz squared, all raised to the third power. So again, I'm going to look outside of my parentheses to this 3 right here. That tells me how many times I'm going to write the parenthesis. So I'm going to write 2yz squared 3 times again. 2yz squared, 2yz squared, 2yz squared. And if it helps you, you can do this as well. That can help keep your problem a little more organized. So now I'm going to write out each one. 2yzz, 2yzz, 2yzz. Remember, I'm writing each z twice because z is squared. So now I'm going to take 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So that's the first part of my answer. I'm going to count my y's. 1, 2, 3 y's. And I'm going to count my z's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8y cubed, z to the 6th is my answer. All right, now I I have negative 2, y to the third, z to the sixth, all raised to the third power. We have a bunch that are to the third power today. All right, so I'm going to go to my exponent outside my parenthesis, which is 3. Then I'm going to write negative 2, y to the third, z to the sixth, 3 times. So negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Oops, I forgot to write it out. I'm a step ahead of myself, so I'm going to back up. Negative 2, 3 y's, 6 z's. Negative 2, 3 y's, 6 z's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And at this point, I kind of stop writing the dots in the middle. If you want to do that, you can, but you got to remember that it is multiplication. Okay, now I'll start simplifying. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. That's the first part of my answer. Then I'm going to count my y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So 3, 6, 9 y's. Then I'm going to count my z's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So negative 8, y to the 9th, z to the 18th is the answer. All right, 2x squared times 3x cubed to the third power. Okay, so maybe I'll start here. Since I start with 2 parentheses, I'll put my squiggle right away. This one doesn't have an exponent right here, so I'm just going to write it out as 2 times x, because x squared would be written twice. Now this part on the right has this 3 here, so that means my 3x cubed has to be written 3 times. So I'm going to go 3x cubed, 3x cubed, 3x cubed. And now I can put my squiggles in between those. So 3 and 3 x's, 3 and 3 x's, 3 and 3 x's. Okay. So now I can start multiplying. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3, let me make sure 54. Count your x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And my only variable is x, so that one's pretty simple. 54, x to the 11. All right, getting a little bit bigger problems here. Now I've got 3 parentheses. So right away, put my squiggles in between the parentheses. Let's write out this first one. There's no exponent here. So I'm just going to write it as 4 times x times y times y times y. The middle one has no exponent. So 3 x's, 1 y, and 1 z. This one has a 2, so I have to write xy twice. So if I break that up, I have x times y and x times y. Okay, the only whole number I have is this 4. So I'm going to put that 4 down here. Count my x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count my y's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And count my z's, which is just the 1. So you can put z or you can put z to the first. The book would just write z. So 4x to the 7th, y to the 6th, z is your answer. Summary. The homework for this lesson is pages 404 to 405. numbers 12 through 15, 17, 33 to 34, 41 to 42, 45 to 46.